All right, so welcome back. We're sparing no expense to perfectly simulate, you know, somebody filming a video and is too poor to afford a proper SD card or whatever, and keeps on running out of storage space. Yes, special effects. That's what that was. And speaking of sparing no expense or spanks or whatever you wear. Here we have the little concept drawing I was making back in the day for my. I was living in this car while I drew this crap, which is the weird part. People used to laugh at this, be like, "Man, I don't know if anybody's ever gonna want to have a big old hole in their bumper like that." And now they actually make this shit. This is 10 years ago. I drew this. Okay, so here's the way, the bumper of the car, right? There's the bumper. There's the gulper. Okay. You want it in the middle, okay? Because you want that forward air to increase the PSI right here where it's going in as much as possible. You want this to just be a clusterfuck of where air builds up and then more air just shoves it down the fucking car's throat, basically. Just shove it right down that throat. Yeah, sorry, I was getting excited. So, yeah, that's where mine was, right there in the grill, and I actually kind of just kept on making it wider and wider because I had a fucking Subaru Outback radiator. So, back to this little drawing here. The whole benefit of this thing is for somebody who wants more power, doesn't want to do all that fucking work to the inside of the motor, or does and wants to add even more power, but doesn't want the extra moving parts and the extra breakability of a turbo. And here's the deal. When you have cold ram air, okay, this fucking guy needs to bring me 2 quarts of oil, because if I didn't save his fucking motor, he wouldn't be getting his car back at all. And if he wants to come pick his car back up, he needs, to bring me some fucking oil, because his stupid ass fucking cold air intake done sucked up some fucking water straight into his motor. Okay, so if you want a ram air system or a cold air system, you need a secondary, what they call a bypass if it's inline. Okay, but here's a way to make ram air shut off the bypass, basically. So you can have your short ram intake, which basically makes a lot of air available to the motor at no speed, and then the ram air comes in and shuts that off and builds up pressure. Okay, what you need for this, before I go back into the little figures I made, in case the video cuts off again, what you need for this is to have a clear intake train. You need to have like a good intake manifold, a port polish, bigger valves help, nice exhaust that can evacuate everything well. Okay, you can get just a small amount of back pressure for takeoff, but back pressure is really going to become your enemy in a ram air setup. I had custom exhaust on my Integra. I have stock exhaust on my Accord because I don't have ram air on my Accord because it doesn't need it. So what you need is an ECU that has a map that can read 3.5 PSI. Okay. And you need a 5-volt O2 sensor hooked up to either a data logging device, or if you're like me and you want to wing it, just a lean rich gauge. A 3-volt O2 sensor and a lean rich gauge will not work, because it just won't give you an accurate enough reading. So, anyway.